the Great White North, right? So
Hmm.
Canopy Growth's plan to fast track its entry into the $34 billion U.S. cannabis industry ran into yet another setback. And this time, the SEC gets credit for swatting that shit back into the Great White North or wherever they identify as these days. And according to MJ Biz Daily, the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission (SEC) earlier this month notified the Smith Falls, Ontario headquartered company that the agency's staff is opposed to deconsolidation of a new U.S. based holding company, Canopy USA, that would own three well known American cannabis companies that Canopy Growth agreed to purchase. Per the article, deconsolidation refers to Canopy Growth presenting its own financial results in the same disclosure as the pro forma financial results of its U.S. based assets. Seems like a pretty basic requirement there that they shouldn't have overlooked. I mean, if you acquire or start a new company in a new state, you can't commingle or claim assets from the original entity with the new one, let alone a whole different country. So I'd assume somebody would be getting fired or making that big of a for making that big of a mistake. But maybe they said sorry, and it's all good now. But Canopy Growth disclosed its the SEC's objection in a November 9th news release announcing the company's second quarter results for fiscal year 2024. The three U.S. companies in question are Acreage Holdings, Jetty Extracts, and Wanda Brands. Canopy hoped to complete its overall plan early next year, but disclosure suggests the objection is significant enough to take the giant a little more time than anticipated to close that deal. Canopy getting curved by the SEC comes just a year after the NASDAQ did the same damn thing for the same issue. Why didn't they not learn the first time? NASDAQ's challenge raised questions about whether Canopy could maintain its listing on the exchange if proceeded with its initial plan to consolidate the financial standing of both entities. Canopy CEO David Klein responded to the blockage by saying this: as we continue to work closely with the SEC to advance this novel structure, we have been active discussions with the most recent communication indicating that there is more work to be done to enable us to deconsolidate the financials of Canopy USA. The company says its plans to speed its entry into the U.S. market is not hampering Acreage, Jetty, or Wanda's operations, which involve focusing on states that offer most potential for growth. For those who may have no idea what this is all about, Canopy was flush with cash just a couple of years ago and went shopping. They paid hundreds of millions of dollars to buy Acreage, Jetty Extracts, and Wana in anticipation of the United States federally legalizing before 2024. Bad bet. Under that plan, Canopy Growth would hold non-voting exchangeable shares in Canopy USA, creating a ring-fenced structure between Canopy Growth and Canopy USA. But since it is not federally legalized yet, plant touching companies alone cannot trade. Canopy even acknowledged the NASDAQ's red flag in the same SEC filing back in October 2022, but for some reason, they tried the same shit again this year, thinking it'd yield different results. In its latest filing, Canopy said is currently assessing additional structural amendments to Canopy USA that would facilitate the deconsolidation of Canopy USA from the financial results of its parent company. We'll see if third time's a charm, but I'm not holding my breath. Justin Trudeau and them damn Canadians. They thought they'd catch good old USA lacking. Sorry. Enrico Lamito was out on the street out here at the Grand Prix Las Vegas, and I can't wait to see some fun action today. What do you guys think about this one? Canopy Growth, are they going to make it?
Oh
Or are they going to
man.
the 800 million that they gave up for Jetty Extra, Swana Brands, and Acreage Holdings? Because if they don't get this deal through, man, like they lose all of that money, and all those companies get to keep it. It's just a blank check.
Oh
Shout out to Nancy.
man. Shout out to those big winners. It sounds like they're going to get a little help from the SEC because I don't see the SEC. Uh, once the SEC raises red flags, there's so much diligence that you have to go through. in order to remove those red flags. I mean, the SEC is gnarly. I've talked to a lot of different litigation attorneys that have dealt with SEC SEC complaints in regards, and they just tell me that it is probably one of the most nightmarish organizations to have to deal with in order to help their clients.
Yeah, it's bad, man. They bet on this like late 2021.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, oh yeah, it's going to be legalized before the next election, and nah,
I
they
wonder
just
what
like broke off all
speculator
that
told
cash.
them that. What speculator told them that? I mean, he's got to be eating a whole bunch of crow right now.
Oh, no idea, but yeah, they're just losing and losing.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? At least they got Europe, so they can push all that Canadian weed out there. But
Yes.
they ain't coming.
Rico, do you think we're going to continue to see, the big deals like this happening for quite some time, or what do you think is the trend here?
Actually, it's weird right now. A lot of the M&A movement as of this year, the second half of this year, has not been MSOs at all, and it has not been like the large entity either. It's been some medium-sized businesses that have been consolidating, scooping up a lot more assets. So it's different times. If you're out, I mean, you're out in Northern California. If you see like a lot of these new shops popping up as people buying licenses for pennies on, and then you have a lot of local entities that have been doing well. Catalyst, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're doing locally, you're buying up other assets, or 13 out here. His remarks saying that these guys aren't good at business. I'm going shopping. You're seeing a lot more of those doing business. Again, 13 is a big one, so I shouldn't even use that. But you see a lot of consolidation with local companies buying out their competition. MSOs are retreating, and they're trying to go to markets where they know that they can sell. They've lost a lot of money in established markets like Colorado, Colorado, Washington, and Massachusetts. They're all retreating out of there too, and trying to go to where they can easily, allegedly grease pockets of the right people. Good old boys.
Lots of grease.
Got it.
Sounds like one big greasy spoon out there.
Yeah. Love a greasy spoon breakfast, by the way.
So there's apparently the SEC.
What do you think? What do you think about this, Jason? The two of your favorite things, Canadian weed and Canopy growth.
Yes, yeah. I mean, I think the Canadians are going to get screwed on this. I think the SEC is going to tell them to basically take their shit and take it back to Canada and kick rocks.
Yeah, I mean, you can trade freely as a plant touching entity in Canada, but if you're doing it in the U.S., you have to separate your plant touching entities from your non.
Exactly.
Got a shelf for that.
Exactly.
And you can't commingle those assets.
Nope.
That's like basic business.
I mean,
if you open up a business, Jason, in the right, you have to open a different entity, and can't commingle the assets or anything like that.
That's correct.
All that stuff.
They're different corporations. So. They're different corporations. They act differently. They're like basically two different people.
Can't get Ozarky, right?
Yep. You see what I did there, Rico?
They're two different people. See what you did.
That's right.
Are there any of those companies that are operating at a profit?
I think they're all in the red now. Canopy. We just had a story about that last week, Jason, did we?
Yeah.
Or was it this week about Canopy? I know a lot of the larger Canadian entities, they have sold off a ton of their assets, a ton of their actual farms, stuff like that, trying to shrink down and go lean because they were all making the same bet. Tilray was harder than the others and openly said that they are not going to touch the U.S. market. That they know the U.S. is right around the corner. They have recently balked on that statement and said that they were going to start dipping their toes in the U.S. In the U.S. market because they think that safe banking is going to pass sooner than later. And right?
Yeah, well, safe
Gretchen
banking
still owes me
isn't going to
$100
fix
on
the
that.
balance sheets of these companies. The balance sheets of these companies look horrible. They're bathing in red. So I mean,
I don't.
separate cannabis from it. These companies just aren't a good investment, right? I mean, am I not
Right,
seeing
but
something?
You're
yeah,
right,
Is there a
Dr.
but they're
Martin.
hidden thing?
trading. Yeah, the fact it's federally legal in Canada means they have cash to buy stuff here. So the opportunity is there to do that, but they're going to fail if they do it before federal legalization. Um, and so while they're still trading strong, whether it's on the TSX or the other Canadian market, they're trading strong out there. I mean, cash to play with right now, but if that all crashes, they can be gone.
Oh, yes, that's right. They'll be gone like the wind. That's right. And on that, we are going to keep this train moving. We're going to go right into a commercial, and we're going to be right back.
How's it going, guys? Saman Razani coming to you from Green Street here with Jason Beck, smoking on the best weed in the world. Did you know that we have an audio-only version of our podcast available on Apple, Google, Amazon, iHeartRadio, and Spotify? Tune in now and check it out.
Not plant touching.
Not plant touching.
Yeah,
Right?
not plant touching.
Something wrong there.
You can't scale. Yeah.
And the execs are pulling big salaries.
We got to keep it rolling.
Mm-hmm. Up next, y'all know it's the man, the myth, the legend. He walks around with a red shirt on,
Yeah, Sue
claiming that Donald Trump's going to be president again. But I don't know, man.
He is. Hold on. Even Michael Rappaport is getting on board with Trump right now.